Not all relationships end with a door slamming shut. Some just fade. No final argument, no clear goodbye, just a quiet shift. You stop laughing together. You stop asking questions. You go from soulmates to strangers who share the same space. As a psychologist, I've seen it happen again and again. People hold on long after love has let go, hoping it's just a phase. But the truth? The signs were there. Subtle, silent, but unmistakable. Today, I want to walk you through 10 of the most overlooked signs that your relationship may already be over. If you feel like something's off, but can't explain why, this might be the clarity your heart's been waiting for. Let's begin. Sign 1. Emotional distance replaces conflict. You used to argue about the dishes, about being late, about the way they stopped holding your hand in public. But now, there's nothing. No raised voices, no tension, just silence. And maybe part of you thinks, this is good. At least we're not fighting anymore. But here's the truth most people miss. When someone stops arguing with you, it's not always a sign of peace. Sometimes it's a sign they've stopped caring. Because conflict in its own messy way means there's still something worth fighting for. But emotional distance, that's when they start detaching, not just from the problem, but from you. They're still physically present, yes, but emotionally, they've already started walking away. Sign 2, the disappearing we. Pay attention to the way they talk. It used to be, we'll figure it out. We need a break. We're in this together. Now it's, I'm busy. You handle it. That's your problem. When the language shifts from we to me, it's not just a change in words, it's a sign of emotional separation. They're no longer seeing you as part of their path. They're carving out a future without you in it. And sometimes they're doing it so quietly, you don't even notice until you're already standing alone in the relationship. Sign 3, affection feels forced or missing. Once upon a time, their touch felt effortless. A kiss on the forehead, a hand on your back. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional safety. But now, the kisses are brief, the hugs feel distracted, or maybe the affection has disappeared altogether. And when it does come, it feels rehearsed, like they're going through the motions, not because they want to, but because they feel they should. This kind of shift doesn't happen overnight. It's quiet, gradual, and deeply painful. Because when love starts to fade, the body knows before the mind admits it. Touch becomes a language they no longer speak fluently, because the connection beneath it is slipping away. Sign 4, they don't ask about your day anymore. Remember when they used to ask how your day was? Not just out of habit, but because they genuinely wanted to know. They listened. They smiled at your little victories. They noticed when something felt off. Now, you come home and no one asks. You share something exciting and it barely gets a nod. You vent about something hard and they're already looking at their phone. When someone stops being curious about your world, it's often because they've emotionally stepped out of it. They no longer feel connected to your joy or your pain. It's not always intentional, but it's telling, because real connection lives in the small, everyday moments. And when those disappear, so does the relationship. Sign 5, you feel alone. Even when you're together, you're sitting beside them, but it feels like you're on opposite sides of the world. You're sharing a bed, but you feel more alone than you ever did sleeping by yourself. And it's not about physical space, it's about emotional absence. The laughter is gone, the conversations feel empty. The silence between you isn't comfortable anymore. It's cold. This kind of loneliness is the hardest to explain, because from the outside, everything might look fine. But inside, your heart is starving for connection. And the truth is, being alone isn't what breaks us. It's feeling unseen while lying next to the one person who used to know you best. Sign 6. They criticize you more than celebrate you. It used to feel like they were your biggest supporter, the one who saw the best in you, even when you couldn't see it yourself. But now, every little thing becomes a complaint. Your laugh is too loud. Your habits are annoying. Even your strengths somehow become flaws in their eyes. The compliments have vanished, and all that's left is quiet judgment or sharp sarcasm. What's happening isn't just frustration. It's emotional distancing disguised as criticism, because sometimes when love starts to fade, the heart looks for reasons to justify the exit. But here's what I want you to remember. You're not too much. You're not suddenly hard to love. They've simply stopped seeing you with the eyes of love and started viewing you through the lens of resentment. Sign 7. Intimacy has become a transaction. Intimacy used to be effortless, a natural flow between two people who wanted to be close. But now it feels like a negotiation, a chore, something you both check off a list rather than crave. Maybe it's physical intimacy that feels forced, or emotional conversations that are met with impatience. You might notice favors given out of obligation, not out of genuine care. This transactional dynamic is a clear sign the emotional bank account is running empty. When love fades, the desire to connect turns into a cold calculation. If I do this for you, will you do this for me? But love isn't a business deal. It's a choice made from the heart, not a score kept in a ledger. Sign 8. They stop noticing your absence. You don't come home on time. You don't text back right away. You pull away a little, and instead of worry, you sense relief. When someone stops noticing your absence, or worse, seems glad you're not around, it's a silent alarm bell. Because if your presence truly mattered, your absence would be felt, missed, longed for. But when they're indifferent, it means your place in their life has already started to disappear. Sign 9. You daydream about leaving more than staying. Your mind keeps wandering to a life without this relationship, not because you don't care, but because staying feels heavy, like a burden you're no longer sure you can carry. You find yourself imagining freedom, peace, or even just silence. These daydreams aren't signs of weakness. They're your heart's way of preparing for what your mind won't admit yet. When leaving feels like a relief more than a loss, it's a clear sign your soul knows the relationship is already over. Sign 10. Your heart already knows, but your mind keeps arguing. Deep down, you've felt it for a while now, that quiet voice inside whispering the truth you don't want to hear. Your heart has already said goodbye, but your mind keeps holding on. You replay memories, hope for change. Tell yourself, maybe tomorrow will be different. This internal battle is one of the hardest to face, because knowing the relationship is over isn't about sudden clarity. It's about slowly accepting what you've been denying. And while your mind resists letting go, your heart is quietly freeing itself. Recognizing these signs isn't easy. It can feel like losing a part of yourself. But understanding the truth is the first step toward healing, whether that means rebuilding what's broken or finding the courage to walk away. Remember, love should never feel like a silent goodbye. It should lift you up, not slowly let you down. If you saw yourself in any of these signs, know that you're not alone and your feelings are valid. Thank you for trusting me to guide you through this. Take care of your heart. It deserves kindness, always.